Hello again, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm a car guy, I do car stuff. We're gonna be working on the brakes on my E46 sedan. So this car has been sitting outside and inside now for almost a year. I bought this car cheap, drove it for about 10,000 miles, and then I found out why it was cheap, because it clearly has not had a lot of miles put on it recently, and it's having all of the BMW-esque issues. So I don't know how far I'm gonna be able to dive into it today, but we're at least gonna look at what I got. I'm thinking calipers, rotors, pads. Let's just take an inventory real quick. All right, so this whole box is from FCP Euro. Not sponsored, wish I was. Anyway. I just got kind of middle ground stuff. I didn't get the most expensive, I didn't get the cheapest. I don't know, that's kind of the usual route that I take anyway. So we got all four, fronts and rears. So my goal with this car is basically to completely rebuild it and take it to the track. I don't necessarily need it to look pretty. There'd be a lot of work if I wanted to make it really pretty again. And it's got 200,000 miles on it. It's not super worth it to make it a show car at this point. I bought it cheap because I wanted to beat on it and have fun with it and not really care about it too much. If this car doesn't end up working out, I could transfer everything that I have into another car, since these things are everywhere. Remember I said this car's rusty?
Well, that's the jack point. There's supposed to be a rubber pad here. The thing is, there's kind of nothing to like put the rubber pad on anymore. Well, that's a good one. This is the concern I have about this car.
That's a lot of the car that just fell out. What I wish I would have done last time is take this off first while you still have something that you can jam against. So that's done. Rotor next. Nope, caliper next. Plastic caps come off the back. And then 7mm, it's tightening. I thought the first couple of these were getting stuck in there somehow. I learned you can actually see the backside of it down in there. So you can tell when it's out. The threads are pretty short on it, but sometimes the grease in there causes it to get kind of vacuum sealed. So that is one slide pin. Come on, number two. So that's done. You can give yourself a little extra relief by getting a screwdriver between the rotor and the backside brake pad. First step, first step 10th, this spring retainer has to come off. That will probably make it a lot easier. Just wiggle them back and forth. Okay. And like I said, I have braided lines going on, so I don't really care if this droops. But you should hang it with no tension on it. So that's off. Caliper bracket. Next is a 16mm 2 bolts on the back side. Shock is in the way, so you can't get an impact on here, but this always works. And a bracket. Rotor. Now we're good. Also, side note, pad wear indicators are only on the front left and right rear. I thought there were 4, there's only 2. I will show you on the front what the wheel speed sensor looks like. So, front is the same, we'll get it down to the same spot, and then we can look at the pad wear indicator and how to get that little janky wire out. And while you're down this far, give your hub a clean. Give that new rotor something nice to grab onto. All right, so I'm just gonna skip the steps you already saw. It's the same thing up here minus the wheel speed sensor. We'll reconvene when I get down to that point. first thing that I had a bit of trouble with, this is your bleeder cover. That is the first attachment point of your wheel speed sensor wire. Goes up through here, clips into a couple spots on the car, and then eventually, you can't see that, eventually goes back here. Evidently, these are very stuck. The passenger side was completely locked up. That's the reason that this car has been parked for almost a year. So now everything that was somewhat free is completely locked solid. Super helpful. I love 25-year-old rusty cars. Just rust. Everything's rust. Why is it all rust? So I just opened this little box. If you can see any better now. This is the first location the wire runs through. Then there's just some push clips. Push it out the back side here. Push the wire out the front here. Then it goes into this box. So I believe the gray on the left, please stay open, is your wheel speed sensor. This is your pad wear indicator. So that runs in. There's no way you're gonna be able to see that. I'll show you in a minute, okay? This is where you're gonna disconnect it from if you are also doing that. That wire runs down into basically my hand here. It just kind of sits in a clip. That little half circle on top is your pad wear indicator. As you can see, this is the reason that I have a light on my dash, and it is worn down to be flush with the rotor, therefore basically making an open circuit, which causes the light on the dash. Now come out. But if I just, this all just pops out. This is the plug that I was pointing at before. And there's just a little teeny tiny tab that you break. I didn't fully disclose that I don't have all the parts to finish the brakes on the car. And once I started, I don't want to leave anything disconnected so it's leaking brake fluid and creating more air in the system and stuff. So I'm gonna stop here. The only thing that I'm going to do to get ready, blast the living bejesus out of that fitting. Other than that, I am done for now. And I will pick this video up some other time when I have all the parts and I find the motivation to come back out here and get this thing working again. So goodbye for now. Not that I'm getting anything from this, but the braided lines that I bought, I shopped around. Everything's expensive. So I found Condor Speed Shop. If you guys know BMWs, you probably know them. They sent me a handwritten note thanking me for purchasing their product and a sticker, which is pretty sweet. It looks like the Coca-Cola logo. Anyway, a handwritten note. It's cool knowing that people still care that you do business with them. Shout out to them, not that it really means anything, but that was really cool. I really enjoyed seeing that. So Condor, I'll be buying from you again. Thank you. Hello again. It's a new day. I have a little bit of time and I need to get working on this car. So the rear struts are in. I hope you saw that video. If not, go check it out. I think I was kind of helpful, a little bit, I guess. So a little bit of an update. I kept the cursing off camera and I tried to get all of the hard lines off. If you've done this before, you know the dreaded rusty, these lines have been together for a very long time. Let me show you. In here, if you don't know, I'll tell you. If you do know, you'll already know what I'm talking about. Right where the end of the light is right here. I don't have enough hands to point. Right there, where it goes from the hard bend to the soft. That spot is as good as stuck together in most cases. I went around and tried my hand at getting these off without you. I'm sorry, but I wanted to know if they came off or not. I got anxious. So full disclosure, I got 3. That means I came 1 short. So tonight, my plan is I'm gonna set these other 3 corners up and I'll show you why I can't do the 4th. So this is that spot in the rear. The line comes up this way, up here, and then there's this tight bend on top. And you see where it kinks? Just under my shadow there. goes straight up, kicks to the right, and then goes straight up again. That was all straight. So I brushed most of the rust off of this line, so it's not super scaly anymore, but it looked like this spot down in here. It was really bad. I was concerned, in any case, that even if I could get this nut off, that this part of the brake line would still be compromised. And my goal is to take this car on the track. So I want to be as careful as I possibly can. So having a union in my brake line and custom making this hard line is not necessarily good, but I'd rather have that and know that I have a solid brake line than be wondering if this thing's going to have a hole in it. And then I go to stop from, I don't know, 100 miles an hour on a racetrack and I don't have any brakes. It's been long enough that I have no idea what part goes where, but I'm gonna do my best. Let's see what we got. Also, I broke this screw, brake set screw. It's for aligning your rotor when you're putting it on the car. Since there's no lugs coming through, that's a lug. That's the physical representation for a lug. Since they're not coming through, you don't have anything to align it on. So this holds it in place while you put your wheel on. Don't buy that part from O'Reilly's. That screw was $10. Okay, they're like $2 online. If you break one, get one online. Do not go to a parts store. I bought it because it was convenient. They already shipped it there for me. I will never, ever do that again. $10 friggin' for one screw. I forgot about this. My wheel speed sensor. I think I got the right one because this one's really long. So I didn't find the box for this one originally. It's right above the rear jack point. It's really hard to get to. And this floor is really dirty. And there's spiders down here. And there's about 400 clips that this thing goes into. You gotta fish it all the way through. Like I showed you in the front, it's a little box back here too. Except it's harder to get to. It's covered in more dirt. How do I even get two hands in here? I gotta pull the little pin thing that broke in the front. To give the dirt some time to blink out of my eyes, you'll see if you're doing this. But follow your wire up around the back side of the trailing arm. It's on the back side there. You can see it pop out right here, those two. It's the top one. And then there's a box. You just see the edge of it right there. This is the same box as the front. I got it the best I could, but all those clips, they don't quite fit right anymore. It's clipped in there. I didn't break any of the clips somehow. So now we'll see how we plug that in to all this. Back to where we were. So now, if you would like, please join me on figuring out how to do everything that I'm doing here. So this is pretty self-explanatory. It's an 11mm. Get yourself a line wrench for taking these things off. I left them on because it's a pressurized system. What is that? What does this thing do? Oh, there's another spot down here. Oh, who'da thunk? Well, that's a pain right in the tuchus. Ow. I have to come clean. I was riding the struggle bus trying to put this together, but I think we are all together. My wire's clipped in for my pad wear indicator. My line is all buttoned up. I got all my clips in. The pads are in, they're lubricated. My set screw is in tight, my rotor's good. I think I'm doing okay. I'm also not sure about this coating on here, but it looks like it's the kind that just wears off on its own. You don't have to like get it off. At least I hope. I'm gonna go real slow the first couple times I drive it because I don't know if that's the case, but I think that's the case. So when I'm all done with this, I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes a lot anyway because I had it without, I got a lot of new stuff that's gonna go on in here, so I'm gonna have to really heavily bleed the brakes. But I don't think I'm losing too much fluid to where I have to worry about the master going empty. But the rear, this side is done. Hello, once again, welcome back to another day of me fighting with the brakes on this car. I don't know what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to get rid of, so please forgive me if the video is a bit jumpy, but I got the rear all set up. Today we're going to conquer the fronts, and then I got to do a little practice on custom bending my own hard line since this car is rusty, it's from New York, and the brake line just above the fitting snapped. So, not a bad skill to learn and to know how to do. I just don't want to. All right, I did the other front side, and now we'll get started over here. I did the side without the wheel speed sensor, being this side, and I'm sorry, but if you're replacing a wheel speed sensor, there's clips that go into. You'll see them. I have faith in you. We're gonna get this line off here, and 11 millimeter. All the way. There we go. I got new ones of these little clips, because why not? These are gross. There we go. Try to keep as much brake fluid off of your stuff as you can, because it's either it'll either corrode or oxidize. I forget, but it's bad. Either way, it'll just melt the paint off of everything. Keep the spot you're working on clean. And also I'm putting this line on first, so we're just letting this line gravity bleed itself. Get this guy threaded on, as long as I don't drop it. We're just getting the caliper bracket set up in here. It's been so long I forgot how this went. Caliper bracket goes on the close side of your mounting location. I'm just giving a really good snug with a 1/2 inch ratchet. It's not important, it's just brakes. It's only your entire life on the line. We can lube our pads up here. I got just some brake parts lubricant for high temp. It looks like just these edges. As long as you don't get it on your braking surface, I don't see why you can't just load them up. This, ever so conveniently, clips into the piston. That's how you know it's your back side. And that'll stay right in position for you. Put a little extra on here too. Do the other one. These little notches here on both sides are where the inside surface of the the pads ride. Give these a good coating. Now, before you get too far, you just rotate that guy around and wipe it off. It is essential that you do not leave any sort of grease on this face on either side. Very important. This is kind of a balancing act here. Cap. Yeah, we're getting there. This guy is a delicate thing to get on here. I've never seen one of these before. This holds basically the whole caliper in. I found kind of sit it down here. It hooks in these two holes, and then you can kind of slide the top around. Now let's see if I can actually make it do that. So it's on both edges, and then it clips into both of those holes. Wow, just like that. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. I don't. Front brakes are done. That's it.